Okay, so one of my classmates yesterday, well, 5 of my classmates were talking about how we should implement more gun control regarding the Kirk shooting, because they said that, the gun issue, we have so many mass shootings, we should have more gun control. Now, they didn't let me refute their argument, because that's liberals, no matter how young or old they are, they're always going to be like that. But anyways, if they ever somehow manage to find this video, then this is for you, okay? It's not a gun issue, it's a mental health issue, okay? Because our generation, okay, and this also includes some younger side of millennials, okay? We are the most anxious, depressed, suicidal, lonely, and some part of me also wants to include another term, but I'm not going to. Since forever, we're the first generation that has had it worse off than our parents, both in terms of economy, how much money we're able to make, what housing is affordable. We have it worse than our parents, and we're the first ones to have it like that in the entire history of America. So it's a mental health issue, not a gun issue, okay? And this proof is backed up even more by the fact that my classmates themselves said that we shouldn't be giving guns to crazy people, like people who have schizophrenia or other mental health issues such as that. And what I wanted to point out is that they're not even allowed to have guns anyways because of those mental health issues. Because the background checks would show it, and they show that they're mentally unstable, for lack of a better term. And then they can't get a gun because they're unstable. They can't be trusted with it because you don't know if they're gonna have a mental breakdown and start shooting people. So pretty much every single time that they get their hands on a gun, it's through illegal forms, or an idiotic friend or parent gifted it to them. Okay. It's not a gun issue because we already have background checks. We already have a bunch of restrictions on what guns we can own and what guns we can't own. We have laws providing where we can use our guns, where we can't use them, how we can use our guns, and how we can't use them. We already have so many laws that are followed by law-abiding Americans that criminals don't care for. They don't care for the law. They're criminals. You wanting to, this goes into something like the gun registry argument. Again, the Second Amendment is not about gun ownership. It's about being able to give the civilians a means to protect themselves against a tyrannical government. Okay? And people can't protect themselves from tyranny if they don't have a weapon. So if you start taking away the guns, how are people going to protect themselves from tyranny? I mean, go over and look at the UK. Yeah, they don't have much gun violence, but that's because they use their existing gun registries to go door by door, house by house, town by town, and confiscate every single gun there. And now look at what it is. It's authoritarian. The Child Online Safety Act in the UK, that is easily one of the most tyrannical forms of a dictator, of tyranny, that we have seen in the 21st century in Europe or America. Because it banned websites that don't follow certain laws, like turning over private user data, okay, your personal information, okay. Company websites and companies are forced to turn those over. Then they've age restricted things that don't even make sense with age restricting, because it's the parents' job to make sure that their kid is not on any of those websites. then you get into, if you go look at all the dictators like Stalin, Mao, Kim Jong-il, or Hitler, what did they all have in common when it came down to guns? They restricted guns to the people that they wanted to kill, and then they gave guns to the people that they wanted to support them. And we've seen this happen before. Go to the Guatemalan genocide of the Mayan people. What happened with them? Guns are illegal in Guatemala. But what still happened? People were given guns. People were given guns to go out and commit genocide against the Mayan people. And it was the military who supplied them. You go down to Rwanda, same exact story. People had their guns stripped from them, and then the government and the military gave guns to other people. I believe it was the Tutsis, or the Tishis, or I believe it was one of those pronunciations or spellings, that were given guns to go out and commit genocide. Okay? So once again, not a gun issue, it's a mental health issue and an authoritarian issue. And we will keep seeing this for as long as humanity is fallen and in sin. Because we don't care. By nature, we're a predatory species. And then we get into the argument of like, oh well, what's that one argument that they made? It's too easy to get a gun. Bull crap. Because not only do you have to go through multi-day background checks, okay, but you also have to go through a waiting period before you can even buy the gun in the first place. Now, not all places do that, but it's still federal law. Like, I can't just go into a gun store and say, hey, I want this gun. And then that's that. Okay? I legally cannot do that. And it's driving me nuts how many people, like, ignore the laws and say we need more restricting laws. Like, the red flag laws kill me. Because that's exactly what dictatorship is. That's exactly what happened when the Jews were killed by the Nazis. The Nazis had instituted laws that said, hey, if you believe this person is a threat, report them. And they specifically named Jewish people. So, again, it's not a gun issue, okay? It's an authoritarian issue, and it's a mental health issue at the very most. Okay? Where's a spot to park? We're gonna park over here.